Joining me now is another member of the House Judiciary Committee, Democratic Congressman Steve Cohen of Tennessee. He also sits on the Ethics Committee. Congressman, welcome back to the broadcast. I appreciate your time. I want to get right to it. Did the testimony from AG Sessions, did it move the ball forward when it comes to answering questions about the Trump campaign's contacts with Russia?
His evasiveness told us that there's much more to the Russian contacts with the campaign than people suspected. I think they have been evasive, and as it comes out, leaks or information from what Mr. Mueller's finding out, there are more and more contacts with Kushner, with Trump Jr., with WikiLeaks, with Russia, with billionaires, you name it. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and where there's denial by the Trump campaign, there's really the truth. And they try to create false equivalencies. And Sessions did nothing, I think, to show that there was not contacts. He just was evasive. And that's what he did. I mean, I saw a mime of Fred Astaire dancing and saying that was Jeff Sessions. It was pretty hilarious and so true.
But, sir, you're in kind of the perfect position to answer this question, being on the Judiciary and Ethics Committees. How difficult is it to prove that someone is deliberately being evasive as opposed to just not being able to remember something?
Well, it's difficult, and Jeff Sessions is 70. But this is not something that occurred 20 years ago or 30 years ago or something like that. This is something that occurred within the last 6 months. I have a lot of visitors also from foreign governments. I remember all of my visitors from foreign governments. I remember visitors from my district. It's kind of hard to fathom he doesn't remember meeting with Ambassador Kislyak and others.
And sir, you would also, wouldn't you keep a log? I mean, it just dawned on me that there must be some sort of log, appointment book, scheduling, that sort of thing that would jog memories, correct?
Sure, my scheduler knows every meeting I take.
Okay. You and 5 of your Democratic colleagues have unveiled articles of impeachment against President Trump this week. How far do you realistically, and I want to underline the word realistically, expect this to go?
You know, every long march starts with the first step. I was shocked by the president's response to Charlottesville. Ku Klux Klansmen and Nazis marched and talked about Jews will not replace us, and basically Klans people who had the same attitude about African Americans as Jews, and there were not good people on both sides. That's when I decided I needed to come forth with the articles of impeachment, even though I did realize he had created violations before, but I'd held back. I worked to gather support. I had 5 people come forth willing to sponsor this. I think we'll gain more support. I know there are lots of other people on the Democratic side who believe that he has reached an impeachable level, but there's the leadership thinks for political purposes that we shouldn't have brought it forth and don't think it should go forward. But I think there are people that agree that he violated the Emoluments Clause, he's obstructed justice, and he's abused power. And those are the areas we went into in our impeachment resolution concerning the firing of Mr. Comey, concerning taking monies at the Trump Hotel and at Trump Tower from foreign governments without permission of Congress, all the money he charges the government and makes from Mar-a-Lago when he goes down there for golf carts for Secret Service and hotel rooms and meals, you name it. And then what he's done with the press and demeaning the press, threatening really to take the license of one of the broadcast companies, and with our that pardon while he has the power, if it's obstruction of justice, it's something that the Federalist Papers said the response would be impeachment, and he's threatened the judiciary, so-called judges. What he said about the pattern of behavior has culminated really in the Arpaio decision. So we filed our impeachment resolution. I think there will be some additional folks sign on in December. I think as time goes on, more and more people will find it that their constituents call on them to be for impeachment. And we're going to try to educate the public to what these offenses are by having briefings on emoluments clauses and briefings on obstruction of justice and impeachment in general. Yep. It's a learning experience tool. The Republicans to come on for it to happen.
Well, sir, may I ask you about that? Because you'll recall that I spoke with you about your plans to file articles of impeachment last month, and I want to have us watch together what you told me at the time. Here it is.
I have one Republican that has said he is looking at it, he's considering it. I have other Republicans, just like Senator Bob Corker suggested, who have told me on a constant basis that they know this man is not balanced, he is not capable of continuing to lead us, including Freedom Party people who said, I don't know how long we can stand this, and they privately will tell you, and by their words and by their expressions, that they would like to see an end to the Trump administration.
Sir, do you have any Republican support for your effort? What happened to that one who is considering signing on?
The one person I went to, and he said, I just can't do it. He's a Republican. With his base, it would hurt him greatly. He's been independent. There are a few Republicans who've come forth on other situations, but thus far none have been willing to sign on to impeachment. Not even any of the folks who are leaving, good people like Charlie Dent and David Trott and others who won't be running for re-election. It's just in the Republican sphere, the Trump supporters are still very much for Trump, and I've seen the response to my introduction of that impeachment resolution has had Trump people come out and attack me on social media and on phone calls in my office and accuse me of everything under the sun. And they are vehemently, they treat the Trumps as they are as if they're royalty, and they can do no wrong. It's astonishing.
All right, Congressman Steve Cohen, thank you so much for joining me, sir. Have a good Thanksgiving.
You're welcome. You too.